batting ideas back and forth for what eventually became Finding Fanny. The idea of the story was almost entirely his, and he mentioned one thing. He mentioned Goa is just full of villages where pointless conversations just proliferate. And that was one phrase that just stuck with me right throughout. And I think it kind of conveys the mood of the entire book. It kind of hangs like a cloud over the entire book, right through every twist and turn and every nuance, every word uttered by these nut job characters. And that's it. It was just the most apt title I could think of. I could not think of anything else.
Well, why Goa? Because I don't know. I was sitting in Goa when I wrote the story, and I found the people in Goa extremely interesting. It was about pointless conversation. Everyone I met would really discuss how hot it was when you were sweating. They would say how humid it is when it's raining, how full they were after they eaten. And I said, wow, this is incredible how just everyone just keeps talking about the most obvious things. And the story was always set in my head about a postman finding a letter that he had written, and the irony of that never got posted. So it was always there. I tried to actually, in between, make it into a Hindi film and try to set it up north, but somehow the way we had written it and the way we had collaborated writing it, everything got lost when I translated it. So just stuck to my guns and we put it in Goa.
Apart from the compliments I received for my performance, I also got some brickbats. Foremost among them was one person who told me that I played him like a retard. I think a guy who walks into a funeral and mistakes a young girl who he knew 40 years ago to be the same person he was in love with cannot be anything but a retard, you know. So I just loved the complete innocence stroke foolishness of this character. I empathize with it a great deal. I often felt very foolish when I was a child.
First, I'd like to say that I got this copy. I didn't open it. I got it. I bought it because KERSI was too cheap to actually send me a copy. And when I got it and I read it, I messaged him. I said, this is terrible. It's terrible that after reading this, I want to rip the first 8 chapters of my next book and throw it in the bin. And he said, oh, yeah, wow, yeah. So I said, I just finished reading To Kill a Mockingbird, and I didn't feel like that. And, you know, your book is so amazing, I felt like that.